The next 5 seconds matter more than you realize. Right now, this very moment, your thumb is probably already moving. You feel it, don't you? That instinct to skip, that familiar itch to swipe away. Your brain has already calculated something. I'm about to reveal a truth about your life, a truth that feels uncomfortable, a truth you've been avoiding, even from yourself. And your mind is whispering, "Bro, leave this. Just watch some shorts instead." Why? Because your brain doesn't want you to hear this. It wants to protect you. So here's my question. If you're waiting for some magical moment when change happens without discomfort, if you're hoping someone will hand you fluency without asking you to face your fear, then skip this video right now. Don't waste your time. This is only for those few people whose lives feel completely stuck, people desperate to escape, people willing to feel uncomfortable if it means breaking free. But for those still here, let's play a mind game. Your brain says, skip. My challenge says, stay. So let's see who wins, your lazy mind or you. This is the moment when most people quietly surrender. Why does your brain immediately scramble for a distraction the moment something uncomfortable surfaces? A notification, a reel, anything to pull you away from the truth. There's a reason. It's not laziness, it's protection. Your brain's primary function isn't growth, it's survival. When you hear something uncomfortable, you're wasting your life, or your English isn't improving because you're afraid, your mind interprets this as danger, real danger. And when the brain senses threat, it finds the easiest escape route. So you pick up your phone, you scroll, you do anything that creates distance between yourself and that discomfort. Imagine a young man. One night he decides, tomorrow I speak English fluently. This changes everything. The next morning, he stands in front of the mirror. He opens his mouth to speak. Instantly, his brain fires a warning. You'll sound ridiculous. People will laugh. Don't do this. So, he doesn't. He scrolls instead. By evening, he's forgotten his promise. This isn't laziness. This is psychology. The real truth. Uncomfortable things terrify us. And uncomfortable things are precisely what change us. Here's where most people misunderstand what's actually happening. You understand English. You watch movies, you listen to podcasts, you comprehend almost everything. Yet, when it comes time to actually speak, your mouth won't open. Why? Because your brain doesn't process speaking as language. It processes speaking as judgment. Your brain calculates, if I speak, people evaluate me. If I'm evaluated, I might be rejected. And rejection feels like death. So it shuts you down. It locks your throat. Picture a school student. He's intelligent. He understands everything his teacher says. But when asked to stand and answer in English, his throat goes dry. His mind goes blank. Not because he doesn't know English, but because he's terrified of embarrassment. Here's the secret nobody mentions. Fluent people aren't perfect. They're just not afraid of making mistakes. A fluent person has reprogrammed their brain. They've taught it that mistakes aren't dangerous. Mistakes are necessary. Speaking imperfectly is better than not speaking at all. And that's where confidence begins. The biggest transformation often starts in the most unexpected place, alone, in front of a mirror. Have you noticed what happens when you actually speak English in front of a mirror? Something shifts. Something becomes real. When you practice alone, your brain doesn't judge as harshly. But when you see yourself, when you witness your own face trying to form English words, something changes. You see your hesitation. You feel your awkwardness. In the beginning, it feels terrible. Your voice sounds strange. Your expressions feel forced. Most people quit here. But the people who keep going, something remarkable happens. Their brain slowly stops treating speaking like danger. With each repetition, each awkward moment survived, each imperfect sentence completed, the fear shrinks. There was a girl who practiced loud reading in front of her mirror, just 5 minutes every morning, reading English articles aloud. The first week was torture. She cringed at her own voice, but she kept going. By week 4, something shifted. By week 8, she was giving class presentations with genuine confidence. Not because she became perfect, but because she had survived her own embarrassment so many times that it no longer controlled her. Confidence isn't born from perfection. Confidence is born from repeatedly surviving the very thing you're afraid of. And here's the question that reveals everything. Why does your brain activate fear the moment you try to speak? Your brain has become addicted to perfection. It believes you should speak English flawlessly on your first try. Perfect accent, perfect grammar, perfect confidence, all at once. And when reality doesn't match that impossible standard, your brain shuts you down. Watch a small child learning to walk. She falls again, she falls 100 times. But she never thinks, well, I'm not a natural, I should quit. She just keeps going. That's not because she's special. It's because society hasn't yet taught her to fear failure. But as we grow, society teaches us something different. Mistakes are dangerous. Being wrong is shameful. Imperfection is unacceptable. So we learn to avoid mistakes. We learn to avoid speaking English. We learn to avoid anything that might reveal our incompetence. There was a man who listened to English podcasts every day. He understood perfectly, but he never spoke. Then, one day, he created a strange rule. I'm going to deliberately speak 10 wrong sentences today. Badly. He was nervous, but he forced himself. And something happened. As he spoke those intentionally bad sentences, he realized nothing terrible happened. The world didn't end. And from that moment, his English improved faster than ever before. Fluency doesn't come from perfect speaking. Fluency comes from the willingness to speak imperfectly, over and over again. This is the invisible trap that keeps millions stuck for years. Why do so many people who study English extensively never become fluent? They know all the vocabulary. They've memorized grammar. They've watched hours of content. But in real conversation, they freeze. There's a reason, and it's profound. Language isn't just information. Language is muscle memory. You can read about swimming your entire life. You can memorize techniques. You can watch Olympic swimmers. But if you've never been in water, you can't swim. The same is true with English. You can study for 10 years, but if your mouth has never shaped these sounds, if your brain has never practiced real sentence rhythm, if your tongue has never felt the muscle memory of fluent speech, studying alone will never make you fluent. Countless people watch motivational videos about English learning. They save vocabulary, they fill notebooks. Then they tell themselves, I understand everything. I just lack confidence. But that's not what's happening. They understand with their mind, but their body, their mouth, their voice, their nervous system hasn't learned yet. Confidence comes from experience, from doing, from your body learning through repetition that it's safe to speak. There was a man who spent months reading English newspapers. His comprehension was excellent, but his speaking remained weak. Then he changed one thing. He started reading paragraphs out loud. Within weeks, something shifted. His tongue became faster, his hesitation decreased, his sentences became smoother. English is learned through your mouth, not through your eyes. This small habit, so simple it seems almost useless, has transformed people from silent to fluent. What if just 5 minutes a day of one specific practice could completely change your English speaking? When you read silently, words stay passive, just information. But the moment you speak aloud, something neurologically different happens. Your mouth physically feels the shape of words. Your ears hear your voice. Your brain coordinates everything in real time. It's awkward at first. Words tangle. Pronunciation feels wrong. And this discomfort is actually the sign that growth is starting. A college student stood in front of his mirror every morning for 5 minutes. He read English articles aloud. Nothing fancy. Week 1, self-conscious. His voice sounds weird. He rushes through words. Week 2, words flow a little easier. Week 3, his tongue feels faster. Hesitation decreases. By week 8, he sounds like a completely different person. Why? Because loud reading retrains your brain. It sends a signal to your nervous system. English isn't just something you read. English is something you speak. And that one small shift rewires your entire learning pathway. But here's where the real discomfort begins. Have you recorded your own voice and listened to it? Most people hate it. They cringe. They avoid it. Because your recorded voice reveals the truth. And the truth is uncomfortable. You hear your hesitation, your pausing, your uncertainty, your accent, your weaknesses. Most people don't record themselves. They convince themselves they're improving without needing to know where they actually stand. But athletes know something different. Professional speakers know something different. They know that improvement begins with self-awareness. You can't fix what you can't see. There was a young man who practiced speaking every day. He felt like he was improving. Then, one day, he recorded himself. He listened back. He was shocked. Every sentence, he pauses, he hesitates. Long silences where he searches for words. His flow is choppy. His confidence is lower than he realized. In that moment, he has a choice. Feel discouraged and quit, or feel grateful. Grateful because now he finally knows what he needs to fix. From that day forward, his practice isn't random. It's focused. And this is where real progress accelerates. The people who become fluent are willing to face their own weakness. The moment you stop pretending you're better than you are, you can finally start actually improving. How do fluent speakers actually practice? Do fluent people sit and think about grammar rules while speaking? No, they feel patterns. Those patterns come out naturally, without conscious thought. Think about how you speak your native language. Do you think about grammar rules? Do you recall syntax before you speak? Of course not. You speak naturally. You've absorbed patterns through thousands of hours of exposure. Your brain has learned them so deeply, they come out automatically. English works the same way. There's a young man who doesn't just study English. He immerses himself in it. He watches Netflix with subtitles. When he hears a sentence he likes, he pauses and repeats it. He listens to podcasts. He mirrors speakers' intonation. He practices in his mirror. In the beginning, he's very aware of grammar rules, but something shifts over time. As he exposes himself to more natural English, his brain absorbs patterns without conscious awareness. He stops thinking about rules. Sentences just start coming out naturally. Why? Because his brain has internalized the patterns, not intellectually, but physically. The neural pathways have been carved deep through repetition. Fluency doesn't come from books. Fluency comes from exposure, from listening, from repetition, from real speaking. Your shyness about English might not actually be about the language at all. Many people tell themselves, "I'm just shy, I'm an introvert," and they believe it. They've accepted it as their identity. But here's something worth considering. Your shyness about English might be about fear, not personality. The fear of judgment, the fear of being wrong, the fear of being laughed at. And this fear is different from being an introvert. This is self-protection. Because what you're actually terrified of isn't the English language. It's people's reactions to your English.
There was a man working in an office. Everyone around him spoke fluently. He understood everything perfectly, but he never spoke. Not in meetings, not in conversations. He told himself, "I'm just shy." But the truth was different. He was afraid. Afraid of being evaluated. Afraid of not measuring up. Afraid of embarrassment. Then one day, he started a strange practice. Every night, alone in his room, he spent 10 minutes talking to himself, in English, out loud. In the beginning, he laughed at himself, but he kept doing it. And slowly, something changed. The fear shrank. His hesitation decreased. His comfort grew. After a few months, he finally spoke in a meeting. And nobody reacted with judgment. They just listened. And he realized something. The rejection he feared would happen never actually happened. Confidence is built through repeated action, through doing the thing you're afraid of over and over again until your nervous system learns it's safe. There's a quiet theft happening in the background.
Think about when you first opened your phone to practice English. Maybe 5 minutes, you told yourself. 2 hours later, you're still scrolling. And suddenly, your day is gone. Your practice time is gone. But here's the thing. Scrolling doesn't steal time. Scrolling steals attention. And attention is where your future lives. The platforms are designed intentionally. They're not designed to educate you. They're designed to capture you. One video leads to another. Each one triggers dopamine. Your brain becomes addicted to instant pleasure. Imagine a girl who genuinely wants to improve her English. She opens YouTube to watch a tutorial, just one. But then a reel appears, then a funny clip, then a motivational video, then another. And suddenly it's evening. Her entire day consumed. But she never watched a single tutorial. She never practiced once. Where your attention goes determines who you become. Where you spend your time determines your future. This is the question that intelligent people often miss. Do you actually want to change? Or do you just like the idea of change? This question is uncomfortable, but it's crucial. Because many people have confused the fantasy of change with actual change. They love watching motivational videos. They love imagining themselves speaking fluent English. It feels good to imagine. But imagination is passive. Imagination is comfortable. Real change requires discomfort. Real change requires doing the thing you don't want to do. There was a young man who saved every English learning video he could find. His phone was filled with courses, his notebooks filled with notes. He had apps, he had books, he had everything. But his speaking was zero. He confused having resources with having progress. He confused learning about change with actually changing. Dreaming about change feels comfortable. Actually changing feels painful. And most people choose comfort. But here's where the story can pivot. The moment you accept that growth requires discomfort, that's when you become capable of real change. The secret that fluent speakers understand intuitively? Why do people who listen and immediately repeat grow fluent so much faster? Because language isn't learned through memorization. Language is learned through imitation.
A small child learns their native language without formal instruction. No grammar lessons, no vocabulary lists. She listens, she absorbs, she imitates, and within a few years, she's fluent. When you listen and immediately repeat, you're not just copying words. You're absorbing rhythm. You're absorbing tone. You're absorbing the natural flow of the language. Your mouth is learning muscle memory. There was a university student who spent 15 minutes every day listening to English podcasts. But he didn't just listen. After each sentence, he paused and repeated it exactly, with the same intonation, with the same rhythm. His friends laughed at him. But in just a few weeks, his speaking transformed. His flow became smooth. His hesitation disappeared. His confidence skyrocketed. Why? Because his brain wasn't intellectualizing anymore. His body was learning it. His mouth was learning it.
Fluency comes from exposure, from repetition, from fearless speaking, from allowing your body to learn. So now we arrive at the final question. Everything you've learned here, the psychology, the techniques, the hidden barriers, leads to this one moment. Are you ready? Are you truly ready to control your own mind instead of letting it control you? Because everything here is useless if you don't apply it. If you continue to think about change without changing. If you continue imagining yourself fluent without actually practicing. The moment of truth is coming. Right now. Today. Will you stay in this comfortable world where you think about speaking? Or will you step into the uncomfortable world where you actually speak? The choice is yours. Choose wisely, because your future is being built right now, in this moment, by the decision you're about to make. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me, what's been holding you back from speaking English? What fear are you facing right now? Because you're not alone in this. And sometimes, knowing that others struggle with the same fear is the first step toward overcoming it. Your journey toward fluency doesn't begin tomorrow. It begins with your next decision. Make it count.